Hey there, Discover Family Church. Pastor Johnny here with another edition of Pastor Johnny on Safari, wielding around in the wilds of the coronavirus world. And today I want to talk about a story. It's a story that you may have heard, you may not have, and it's Jesus actually refers to it in the Bible in the Sermon on the Mount, and it's the story of going the extra mile. I'm looking around and I'm seeing Americans right now, some of them choosing to do what we're supposed to do, and others choosing to ignore what we're supposed to do. I'm sort of seeing both sides of things, and we see people that are getting angry at the thought of what might be coming or what is being said as a possibility, and vice versa. And honestly, my question is a lot of times, what do we do when asked to do something that maybe we don't really want to do? What should our response be as Christians or as people that are trying to live a better life and live a life according to what Jesus taught us? And why is it so hard for us to comply, to comply with people in authority? What makes it difficult? I mean, it's built into us to make that difficult, to have a hard time with that. And so I'm going to read you some verses from Matthew chapter 5 in verse 41 through 44. Let me see here for you. It says, "And if anyone forces you to go 1 mile, go with him 2 miles. Give to the one who begs from you, and do not refuse the one who borrows from you. You have heard it said that you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemy and pray for those who persecute you." The story of going the extra mile, the idea of it behind that, and the reason Jesus said that is because it was something that was law back then. It was law that people didn't like. They didn't want to do it. And what it was is that basically the Roman Empire ruled the known world at the time, or at least the Bible world. The Romans ruled it all. They ran everything. And if a Roman soldier, a centurion, a guard, a Roman soldier, the ones that had the red mohawk helmets and the breastplates, that look like Batman, only gold. If they asked you to carry their gear, if they were walking, because they had to walk everywhere. I mean, they didn't all have horses. They didn't all have chariots. There was tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of these Roman guards, these Roman soldiers. And if they were going from one side of the known country or world to the other, they had to walk. And if they asked you to walk and carry their gear for them, you had to, by law, carry it for 1 mile. They couldn't force you to carry it more. You had to carry it 1 mile. And there's a story that I learned as a kid. And it's a story, and it's not in the Bible, but it's a great story that really applies. Is that a young boy was walking down the road, and a centurion, a Roman soldier, saw him and said, "Son, I want you to carry my gear for me. I want you to walk this gear for me for 1 mile." And this kid had someplace to go. He was really excited to go do something and have fun with his friends, and all of a sudden he's stuck walking 1 mile in the opposite direction, carrying 50 pounds worth of gear from this soldier. And he doesn't want to do it. He has no desire to go do this thing. And so he picks up the gear and he starts walking. He's angry. Why? You ever do that? Like, you get angry when you're asked to do something that you're not wanting to do. You get angry. And this kid's angry. He's mad, but he knows he has to do it. And so he's I can't believe this stupid soldier making me carry this stuff. I can't believe I want to go play with my friends. I want to go do stuff. Why am I doing this? And after about half a mile, he starts looking over at the soldier. And he sees that this soldier is about the age of his dad. He sees that this soldier is tired. His feet are blistered from walking. He's dusty and dirty. And he's been walking for probably days on end. There are bags under his eyes. You could tell that he didn't feel good, and he was trying to get home. He was trying to get back home from the battlefield. And slowly but surely, over that last half mile, something happened in that little boy, which was compassion, a desire to see this soldier continue on and not have to go through this hardship. And the little boy realized something, that everybody goes through stuff. That everybody's going through stuff. We look in the world today, and it's so easy. I mean, watch anything, and everybody is blaming everybody. The Senate, the Congress, the President, the news media, the this, the that. Everybody's blaming somebody. It's somebody else's fault. It's never ours, and it is always somebody else's fault. It's never just a bad situation. And that's what we do. And that's what this boy was doing for the first bit. But then he realized, wait a minute. This is somebody, it's not his fault that I get to carry his bags. It's the law. And everybody's going through something. Everybody that's facing this right now, the people that are getting blamed are still facing the same outcomes that we're facing. They're still facing the same possibilities of sickness and death and things of that nature. They're still facing the same stuff. And so they get to the 1 mile mark, and the soldier looks at the boy and says, okay, thank you. You carried my stuff. You can give it back to me. I'll carry it now. You look tired. And the little boy looked at him and said, no. I'll carry it another mile for you. And that's where that verse comes from. And when it says, hey, if somebody forces you to go 1 mile, go with him 2 miles. And the little boy realized something. And the story goes that the little boy walked the first mile with an enemy, and he walked the second mile with a friend. And as they walked on the second mile, they started talking. And he found out that this soldier had kids about his age, and he was heading home, and he was just excited to see his family. And all of a sudden, because he was willing to put aside the preconceived notions of somebody's trying to get me or it's somebody's fault, and instead decided to walk with the compassion of Jesus and the love of Jesus for other people, even the people that you consider your enemies, this little boy did that. And all of a sudden, he realized that, wait a minute, I don't have to walk with an enemy. I can help a friend. In this season, as we walk through stuff, I encourage you to be a servant. It says in Matthew chapter 23, it says, the greatest among you will be a servant. I mean, the truth is that the idea of, of being there for somebody else, if somebody is doing something for you, it's easy to be there for them. But when they're not doing something for you, it's a little harder. But the fact is the Bible says, hey, whether they're doing something for you or not, that's the exact time that you're supposed to serve, that you're supposed to love, that you're supposed to care, that you're supposed to walk the extra mile. Let me read it from Matthew 5, the same chapter, in verse 46. It says, for if you love those who love you, what reward do you have? Loving those that love you is easy. Do not even tax collectors do the same thing? So the Bible says, tax collectors love those who love them. And if you only greet your brothers, what more are you doing than others? Do not even the Gentiles do the same? What it's saying is, it's easy to love people that love you. But Jesus is calling you to walk the extra mile, to show compassion and care, to show love for those that maybe don't love you, to stop playing the blame game and start saying, you know what, I'm going to walk an extra mile even though I don't have to, because I want to be like Jesus. Hope you guys are doing really great. And I want to invite you, if you'd like, to text us. I have a phone number here. If you're having a prayer request or you have a need, I should have written this down, but I didn't. If you have a prayer request, you have a need, you need help with something, please let us know. And the phone number that you're going to let us know on is really simple. It's 863-999-0410. That's 863-999-0410. We'd love to help in any way we can, or in the very least, be able to pray with you, to walk an extra mile, in prayer for you as you walk through this time. Be safe. Love those around you. Care for those that are hardest to care for. Make a difference in the world. Let's deal hope in the middle of a situation that seems hopeless sometimes. I love you guys, and I will talk to you later.